which is, okay, one more time, what is a relation? There are 4 ways to write a relation. What are they? Just shout them out to me. Mapping, graph, table, order pair. What you're going to do, no matter what form they put it in, whether it's a map, a graph, a table, or a set of ordered pairs, they're going to ask you, is that relation what we call a function? Okay? So it doesn't matter how it's written, your job is to determine, is it a function? Okay? Alright, so that's what we're going to title our notes today. We're going to call them functions. Okay? Now, let me give you the mathematical textbook definition so that you always have the formal, and then we'll break it into kid-friendly language. Okay? Alright, a function is a relation, and we know that word, right? So it's basically a set of ordered pairs, okay, in which each element of the domain, oh, there's another word we know, okay, of the domain is paired with exactly, okay, I underline the word exactly, okay, one element of the range. Okay? So a relation is, okay, it's a relation in which each element of the domain is paired, okay, with exactly one element of the range. Now, can you write that in kid-friendly words? That seems very textbook, does it not? Like if you were to Google function in the computer, this is probably what would pop out. So what is that saying in kid-friendly language? Zachary?
Okay, so you have each of your domains.
Yep.
And each of your domains is matched with one number of the range.
Okay. So each domain is matched with one number in the range. Okay? Alright? Anybody else? No? So you want to just stay with this definition?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to tell you here's kid-friendly language. I'm going to break it down as low as I possibly can go. No to x values, repeat.
Oh, that's really simple. Okay, thanks.
That's much simpler, isn't it? It's a function if you don't have 2 of the same x values. And it's as simple as that. Okay? So very textbook comes down to, oh, okay? Which is what Zachary was saying. 1 x value to 1 y value. Okay? You can't have 2 be an x and say 2, 5 and then also be related to 2, 4. Okay? That's not a function. You can't have them both. Okay? Alright, now, your job is not so much to define a function, it's going to be to recognize whether something is a function. Okay, so you're going to do some tests today. That's what you're going to do. There are actually 4 ways to test a function. Okay, so you're going to test them. Yeah? Okay, so how do we test a function? 1, look at the table. If you see 2 of the same x values, it's not a function. Okay, so look at the table. 2, graph it. If it's got 2 of the same x values, once again, and it's graphed that way, okay, then it's not a function. Number 3, look at a mapping. These are all words we've heard before, isn't it? So all the 4 ways that we said, what's a relation, you're now going to look at those and see if they're functions, okay? So where in the mapping, picture a mapping in your head. Where would the mapping, where there have to be values that repeat? What circle? Because remember, mappings are circles. So which circles can't have repeated values? The first one, right? The left side. Okay, very good. All right, and then the last one, and this is the most common, okay? It's what we call the vertical line test. Yeah, this is actually related to the graph. What you do, okay, is you take your pencil. Take your pencil, it's the easiest thing, or your finger. I actually like doing my finger better because I write with my pencil, okay? So I take my finger, which is a vertical line, right? My finger goes up and down like this. We all know what a vertical line is, correct? Okay. If this is vertical, put your finger up. Where's horizontal? Okay, I'm not saying do a horizontal line test. It's a vertical line test. All right, so here I am. If it is a function, I can't have two dots on the same vertical line. So I'm going to take my finger and move across. Here it's okay. How many dots here? One. Here is one. Uh-oh. Right there. It crosses my vertical line. Okay? So go ahead and have that in your notes. This is the vertical line test. You take your finger and you move it across, and it can't hit your finger more than once. Okay? Can't be on two places on your finger. More than one. Okay? Okay? You're going to see what's called, and this is important, function notation. Okay? Functions can be written one of two ways. You're going to see f of x, or g of x, or h of x, or I of x, but it's something of x. Okay? Or it can be written in what you've already worked with, y equals. Okay? So that's a function, and that's a function. So remember when I said you've already seen this? You have. You just haven't seen it in that notation. And so I'm just adding that vocabulary word today. Okay? So what they're going to do is they're going to give you a function. And a function could look like this. F of x equals, let's say, negative 3x minus 10.
Why don't they just keep it simple for y?
Because when you get into trig, there is no y's anymore. It's all function notation. That's why.
Wait, when are we going to do this?
Let's see, you'll do algebra 2 next year, algebra 3. So your sophomore year. You'll start seeing f of x a lot more. Okay? Alright. Now, nothing has changed, right? If you replace f of x and put y here, that's something you've seen. Okay? Y equals negative 3x minus 10. Okay? All that's different is this function notation. Now, what it's going to ask you to do is if f of x equals negative 3x minus 10, find, let's say, f of negative 4.
What?
Okay? So we'll label this one A. We'll do this one together. Okay? What this means, okay, is you're taking this function, which stands for negative 3x minus 10, and you're trying to find it when it's negative 4. Okay? So meaning you're going to take this negative 4 and plug it in. That's all. That's all. So you're going to say f of negative 4 equals, and now I'm writing it out. Eventually, yes, I am saying you can do it in your head. Okay? I'm showing you what it means for notes, but if you can do it in your head, I'm okay with that when we do practice. It means we're going to take negative 3 times negative 4 minus 10. So I'm just plugging it in. And that seems very similar to what you did on homework last night, correct? When they asked you to find the range? Okay? So negative 3 times negative 4 is what?
12.
12 minus 10.
2.
So f of negative 4 is 2.